Hello everyone and welcome to race 4 of the MRN Radio Cup Series.
Start your engines!
As the command just cut me off, and now the starting lineup is going to go by really quick here, so let's get this done and over with. This is Bristol after all. Denny Hamlin got a pole with a 128.305 mile per hour lap time. Brian Scott qualifying as high as 12th, and last week's winner Kyle Larson qualifying in 13th. Trevor Bayne also made it into the top 20. As far as Cup notable drivers, they'll be starting in the rear of the field. Joey Logano will be starting as far back as 28th, which is really big. And also Greg Biffle, who did qualify well, will be starting from last place. Unfortunately, he had to go to a backup car. Green flag is out, and we are underway here from Bristol. 125 laps, and Michael McDowell is slow on the apron. Anyways, Ryan Newman will get right down to the bottom of Hamlin here in turn 3. Ryan Newman will take the lead and lead lap 1 here at Bristol. Earnhardt Jr. right to follow. And now it's just Newman and Earnhardt Jr. 1-2. As you see, a 3 wide going back there. Michael McDowell still in pit road. Denny Hamlin continues to fall back after getting the pole position. And look at Kyle Larson. He's fought his way all the way up to 7th now, knocking on the back door of Denny Hamlin. And Jeff Gordon making his way up to the top 5. Now knocking on the back door of 41, Kurt Busch. It's worth mentioning that the Busch brothers are 3rd and 4th right now, and they, of course, have a ton of success here at Bristol. Kyle Busch being the first ever winner of a Bristol race here ever since they moved to the new package of cars back in 2007. And Kurt Busch has just had success at Bristol for a long time, as we're going to go back to Clint Bowyer now on the fringe of the top 10. Looks like Truex just pinged off the wall there, and Bowyer will be taking 10th place away. Coming back up, Gordon trying to get underneath Kurt Busch. He gets denied. We come up to Ryan Newman now. We are on lap 8. Not much happening as far as changes in the top 5, and we got a wreck. Danica Patrick in the wall. Looks like Landon Cassidy helped her. Let's get a replay of this. Nemechek gets into Landon Cassidy coming off a 2. And the 40 and the 10 just ping off the wall in turn 3. Not a lot of room at this track. Anyways, we will now go to highlights of this Wreckfest. Kyle Busch starting to get forced back now on lap 15. Hamlin goes to the top 5 because of it. And Jeff Gordon finally gets around Kurt Busch on lap 20. As we go to caution number 2 now, Landon Cassidy spinning out again. This time Josh Wise helping him spin around. Here, during that same caution, Carl Edwards would be forced to go down to pit road and retire, unfortunately. He was down a cylinder. We go back to the race. McDowell will slam off the wall with the leaders behind him. He would end up taking the lead, and Newman would have to go to pit road after slamming into the back of McDowell. Lap 35, Jeff Gordon would move back into the top 5 after passing the 88, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. gets into Landon Cassidy as he wrecks for the 3rd time now in this race. And the 55 and the 98 getting a really good piece of him. We'll get some onboard cameras. Here's Kyle Larson, so we could see what was going on here. Kind of a rear wreck that was happening behind that entire mess. Pretty much 2 wrecks happening at the same time. Here's the view from Alex Bowman. Clipping David Gilliland there. Gets pounded by the 22. The 36 turns him around. Here's on board Ryan Truex. We can see the 40 in the wall. And Looks like the 47 and the 83 just come off the wall. And the first round of pit stops also happened on this caution cycle. Reminder that Kyle Busch was in the lead coming into this. As we can see some lapped cars driving by. Some lapped cars. Denny Hamlin finally pulling in after losing a ton of spots and actually going a lap down. Kurt Busch would have the lead. Kyle Busch coming out in second. Jeff Gordon third. Jimmie Johnson fourth. Matt Kenseth fifth. Devon Williams sixth. Clint Bowyer seventh. Dale Earnhardt Jr. eighth. And then the two RPM cars 9th and 10th respectively. In lap 42, the Busch brothers swapped first and second pretty much right on the restart. We now fast forward to lap 49, where the fourth caution of the day, where Michael McDowell goes for a spin and stops on the apron of the track. Nothing much really happens from that. Moving forward to lap 63, Dale Earnhardt Jr. would find his way into the top 5, and pretty much a lap later, Jimmie Johnson would end up spinning. As we go on board Michael Annett here, as he has just been very unlucky. As we can see, Clint Bowyer also getting a piece of that wreck. Lap 74, Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues to move through the field. He would take third from Kurt Busch and then second from Gordon. Caution number 6 would happen now as Joe Nemechek and Reed Sorenson get into it coming off of 2, and a lot of leaders end up getting involved. The most notable being Jimmie Johnson getting probably the worst part of the wreck. Also, Brad Keslowski and Justin Allgaier being involved as we get an onboard camera from Keslowski here. And a second round of pit stops now happens. And there's the lapped cars coming in. It's worth noting that Devon Williams does not pit underneath this cycle of pit stops and tries to make the entire race on just one pit stop, a very gutsy move. But anyways, Kyle Busch comes out in second, then Jeff Gordon third, Dale Earnhardt Jr. fourth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. fifth, Michael Annett sixth, Marcus Ambrose seventh, David Ragan eighth, Aric Almirola ninth, and Jamie Mack in 10th. Incredible. Anyways, off the restart in lap 95, a caution flag would fly. The 83 ends up getting spun. That's all that really happened. Kyle Busch got involved in that. And we will pick up live action here on lap 100 as there are only 12 cars that are on the lead lap. The 92, 24, 88, 17, 18, 7, 9, 41, 34, 43, and 20. Somehow, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has found his way into the top 10. Anyways, we restart with 25 laps to go, with the 92 proudly in the lead. As we fast forward through the field here, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. potentially making it 3 wide underneath Dale Jr. He thinks wiser of it. The 92 jumps out to a huge advantage as Jeff Gordon is stuck up out on the high side with Joey Logano. Lap traffic not being very nice. Trevor Bayne trying to get back on the lead lap. He's getting around a bunch of people, and the 16 just slammed off the wall. And that's about all that happened. Everything's still good. And the 41, 18, the 23, they're all on the wall. Caution's back out. And that takes out the Busch brothers, who have been the strongest drivers all race long. There's a replay of it. The 18 and the 41 get into each other, coming into one. They both just ping right off the wall. That takes the 18 out of the race. And the 41 on the tail end of the lead lap. That also takes pretty much Aric Almirola out of commission, as he gets a good piece of both cars in this wreck. Pretty much just an innocent bystander. Anyways, it is now, we will restart now on lap 109. Trevor Bayne is the first car 1 lap down. David Gilliland, first car 2 laps down. Green flag is out as we're underway. Devon gets a huge restart yet again. And yet again, the lap traffic will go 3 wide, disallowing Gordon to run up with the leader. And the 34 and the 41 get into each other. No caution. Now it's lap 110. Trevor Bayne trying to get his lap back. So we'll get a flyby of the field here. Or maybe not. Bayne trying to get a lap back. And now that looked like the 42 was on his roof. And that takes out another contender, David Ragan. We'll see what happens here. The 27 smacks off the wall. Gets into the 42. 42 hits the wall. Goes right onto his roof. That was a rough hit. Here we go. Full speed this time. On board Kyle Larson. He just goes right over. We are now inside 10 laps to go, which means we're going to get a single file restart. Devon Williams is in first. Jeff Gordon second. Earnhardt Jr. fourth. Not third. Marcus Ambrose fourth. Matt Kenseth fifth. Michael Annett sixth. Jamie McMurray seventh. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in 8th. Whoever I just showed there, Kurt Busch is in 9th. And Trevor Bayne, 1 lap down, is in 10th. Green flag is out. 8 laps to go. And now that the field's single file, the 92 slips up the track. He's on old tires. He's having a huge disadvantage. Gordon's going to take advantage of it. He's going to try to win his second race in 4 races. 7 laps to go here at Bristol. Gordon now to the lead as the 92 fails to get to the bottom. Michael McDowell around him. Here comes Earnhardt Jr. as David Gilliland pounds the outside wall. Earnhardt Jr. just moves Gilliland out of the way. McDowell out of the way. McDowell slams into the wall. Here comes Marcus Ambrose. He's going to be around the 92. Looks like the 38 is going to be around the 92 as well. Here comes Jamie McMurray. He's going to be around the 92. 5 laps to go now. Trevor Bayne trying to desperately hang on to those 4 points that he will receive if he stays on the lead lap. Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to reel in Jeff Gordon. He doesn't have a lot of time. Only 3.5 laps left to go at this point in the race. If Jeff Gordon gets caught up behind that 21 car of Trevor Bayne, that 21 car is pretty badly beat up. Jamie McMurray is now around the 92, and the 92 is falling all the way behind Brian Scott back to the 7th position. Here comes Matt Kenseth. No. 2 laps to go. The 24. Now Kenseth is underneath the 9. They're going to swap positions. We're going to come to the line. White flag. The lead's about 1.5 car lengths. Earnhardt Jr. closes in really quickly. The lead is now only down to 0.5 car length. Trevor Bayne keeps it. Earnhardt Jr. is going to try to sneak underneath him, but can't do it. Gordon wins here at Bristol. That will be his 2nd win in 4 races. He won Daytona, and now he has taken the win here at Bristol. An incredible race. Jeff Gordon will win. Only 10 drivers finishing on the lead lap. Here's your final standings. This has been it. Point standings are in the description. Thank you for watching.